Well, before we get there, Orton's going to attack you on Raw from behind, send you to the hospital. But of course, you return for the main event just in time to get some revenge. That's almost like a Raw crutch at this point. You've been sent to the hospital and come back just in time, many, many times. The Raw from Portland on February 9th sees you cut another promo on Orton. And this is the one where you reveal that Orton went AWOL from the Marines. And at this point, that was not public knowledge. No. Maybe a few smart fans had read about it online, but
I probably shouldn't have gone there. I mean, I did it with his blessing, but geez, that could have resulted in Randy being called up for action.
What do you remember about that promo and how it got greenlit and what the reaction was from the crowd and from the boys in the back?
I think I was trying to talk about the theory of transference. I wouldn't have called it transference, where Randy has questions about his own courage, which is why he questions mine. And I also believe we have to go back in time to see if that was the day that Rasheed Wallace was traded from the Portland Trailblazers while he sat in the crowd. I can't remember if I was in the ring afterwards. This may have been a completely different Portland experience. But I told Rob Van Dam that as a bonus for him, he was going to get to go to Rasheed Wallace's locker and keep anything he found. And then Rob says to me, like, does that mean he smokes a lot of pot, man? I go, yeah, that's the idea. As soon as I said that, because Rasheed, I believe, had been penalized for failing tests, and he was, a weed guy. But I may be confusing my Portland moments. Portland, a great historic wrestling city.
This is where they put you through the power bomb, the Batista bomb through the table and all that jazz. But it does feel like, in hindsight, that these days, bringing up that you went AWOL from the Marines and you were court-martialed and all that, and you're positioning as, it's not really legend killer versus legend killer, but it's coward versus coward. I could see how that would rub some guys the wrong way, but Randy was okay with it.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't done it. It wasn't worth the risk. The reward wasn't worth that risk. I wish I hadn't done it. It did add to the promo, but again, I wish I hadn't done it.
So this is really the first time Batista is the one, doing some physical stuff with you. At this point, it had primarily been Orton. Was Hunter involved in position? I mean, this is his stable. I know he's got different plans for WrestleMania, but creatively, as you guys are running through this stuff, or maybe going through, I don't know if you did a dry run back in that day or not. Is Hunter involved in that at all, since it is still sort of kind of his creative?
I don't recall Hunter having a hand in it, at least not when I was there. Stephanie was the producer for some of our segments. And I remember telling Randy he was supposed to hit me with the belt, and he had never done anything where you're using a, foreign object like that. So my way of doing it, at least, it might not be everyone's. I said, what you do is you run into me as hard as you can physically with as much of your body as you can, while keeping, so instead of coming here with the belt, you are moving, you're moving, and you've got that belt so that when you make impact, it looks good all over. That's my way of doing it. And just to show you, the difference of interpretation, when Randy lays me out, I say, so Mick, I say, Randy, so then you get in my face and you go, yes, Mick, you are my bitch, like a whisper. And when Stephanie interprets it, it's, yes, Mick, you are my bitch. So I was like, I think my way's better, but at that, I think what we got was the yell. But that's just two different people's ways of looking at it. To me, the whisper's more effective than the yell. You can't say the yell wasn't effective, because everything we did was clicking.
No doubt.